Hey guys, CivilianSnowman here again on the Cigarette Burns, and this time we're reviewing the second part of George A. Romero's zombie saga, the Dead Saga, and that is Dawn of the Dead. I have to say right off the bat that this is probably George A. Romero's best film. It's definitely his best of the Dead Saga, although it's not my favourite. My favourite is Day of the Dead, but I will be the first person to admit that Dawn of the Dead is a better movie. It's more well-rounded, and it's probably just more well-made, to be honest. But like I said, Day of the Dead's my favourite. What I love about this film is how it takes, George A. Romero takes the simplicity of the plot, which is just about four survivors taking shelter in a shopping mall, and turns it into a comment on consumerism, obviously. I mean, I'm not going to go into all the messages because they're pretty obvious and everybody already knows them. But I like the way George A. Romero takes the somewhat simple premise and expands on it, and crafts a really interesting, deep, thought-provoking and at the same time fun movie out of it. So that really impressed me. I love the opening of this film. It opens amidst the chaos of the zombie apocalypse in a news station where nobody knows what's going on and everybody's panicking, and then it goes to a SWAT team raid of an apartment building where the residents are keeping zombies, their zombified relatives, in the basement and feeding them, and all hell breaks loose. And these two sequences are basically show how the four characters are brought together and end up surviving together. But I just thought these sequences were so well executed, and I think what Romero does really well, and it's most evident in this film, it makes it feel real. It doesn't feel scripted. Like, there are certain shots that you get the impression that Romero kind of left the camera on while they were, just messing around on set between takes, because the shots of bikers and stuff, they're just so genuine, the shots and the people in them, it feels real. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure anybody who's seen this movie, which I imagine is most of you, will know what I mean. It has a real genuine feeling to it and really doesn't feel scripted at all. So that's an aspect of the film that I really love. I think one of the shortcomings of the movie is that the characters have to do some pretty stupid things in order to get into trouble with the zombies. There are scenes where characters fall over for no reason during a zombie attack and stuff like this, and that feels forced, but it's the only aspect of the film that does. I'm sure Romero could have done a little bit more to get them, attacked by zombies, but to be honest, at times in the film, certain characters act like buffoons, but to be honest, that's the only real negative point I can think of with Dawn of the Dead. What I love about this movie is just how classic it feels. It really does. It has that same feeling that Jaws does, the Spielberg movie, when I'm watching Dawn of the Dead, I feel like I'm watching a classic. I feel like I'm watching a film that I will be talking about 40 years from now. I'll be saying, oh, Dawn of the Dead is one of the best films ever made, because it really is, and it does have that classic feel to it. And you compare it to something like Survival of the Dead, which Romero made last year, and obviously we'll be reviewing that in a few weeks' time. But you compare the two, and there's just no comparison whatsoever. This feels like the work of a great artistic director. Somebody who has a vision, who has drive, and who is striving to make the best film possible, which he very nearly achieved. And it is a masterpiece. It is a classic. I honestly can't sing its praises enough. And then you get to Survival of the Dead, and the differences you could drive a truck through. Honestly, the differences are huge. So it really is. It's Romero at his absolute best. As for a rating, obviously I have to give Dawn of the Dead 5 stars. I don't know why I bother doing ratings really, because they don't really mean anything, but it's just an absolute masterpiece. As I said, anybody who hasn't seen it, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen Dawn of the Dead, you have to go and check it out. It is incredible. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favourite films. It's not quite my favourite Romero zombie film, that's reserved for Day of the Dead, as I mentioned earlier, but it is absolutely brilliant, and yeah, just go check it out because it'll blow you away. Anyway, that's it for my turn on reviewing Dawn of the Dead on the cigarette burns. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to watching the rest of the reviews as we review Day, Land, Diary and Survival of the Dead. I'm looking forward to reviewing them, and I know the other guys are. Just hope you guys are looking forward to watching them. So thanks to everybody who rates, comments and subscribes. You're all absolutely brilliant. This is CivilianSnowman signing out. I'll see you later. Bye.